Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about extreme hunger in eating disorder recovery. I received this question on a live stream a couple weeks ago, I think, and if you haven't been on YouNow and come hang out with us, what are you doing? You're totally missing out on a lot of fun and giveaways. Have I told you? There's lots of giveaways. But the question is, hey Katie, is it normal to have extreme hunger after restricting? Since I started eating normal again, I have been super hungry. I Googled it and it says that it's normal and that you should eat until you're not hungry anymore. So I've been doing that for almost a week, but I'm scared that I'm gonna gain a lot of weight. Am I doing the right thing? I know for sure that it's physical hunger because I wake up between 4 and 5 a.m. because I am so hungry, even after eating a lot the day before. I don't know, I'm just scared that I'm gonna gain so much weight if I keep eating this much. Thanks. I get a ton of questions like this, and I don't think we've actually talked about it before, but if there's a video where I've talked about it, please leave it in the comments. That would be extremely helpful. But I know that no matter how much I talk about this, no matter how much I tell you that this is okay and that it's gonna be okay, your eating disorder is gonna fight back. And it's gonna tell you, even as you're listening to this right now, well, yeah, I'm different. I probably weigh more than the girl who asked that question or the guy who asked that question. They don't understand what I'm going through. My eating disorder isn't bad enough. I'm really gonna gain a lot of weight. It's gonna tell us all this garbage. And so just notice, think about it. Is that what's happening? Because I'm talking right to you, eating disorder. You're full of shit. And what I'm telling you is the truth, okay? So listen up. It all depends on how much damage was done to our body. That's the truth. That tells us how long we're gonna have this extreme hunger, because the reason that we have extreme hunger is because our body has to replenish all of the things that it was missing for so long. And we don't know how much damage is really done, and we can't really compare ourselves to someone else because their body is gonna be different. And a lot of it has to do with how healthy our body was to begin with. How long do we restrict? How long do we binge and purge? How often? How severe? Were we also deficient in other things before this even got started? There are so many reasons and so many things that can make our body different. And so your extreme hunger may last longer, may be different than someone else's. And it honestly doesn't matter how much you weigh either. I know you're gonna argue and be like, well, I'm not as thin as her, or I didn't undereat as often or restrict as much. It actually doesn't matter. We can be overweight, we can be underweight, we can be healthy weight and still struggle with extreme hunger, because what our weight doesn't tell us is how much damage was done to our nerves, to our muscles, to our bone structure, to the cellular level of our body, to any portion of ourselves that makes us who we are. We don't really know that. The only way we can get to know that is if we got an extremely intensive physical blood work, all this stuff at the hospital, which maybe you've done. However, our body's still gonna tell us when it needs more food. Now let's end by talking about what you all probably came here for, which is the question, will I keep gaining weight forever? I worry so much. And the truth is, no, you won't keep gaining weight forever. That's the amazing thing about our bodies, that they tell us when to stop. They tell us when we're hungry and when we're full. When I've talked about intuitive eating in the intuitive eating workbook, and that's why I love it so much, is because it tells us to listen to our bodies. I actually love watching toddlers and young children eat because they're the most intuitive eaters. We don't know exactly how much they need, but they do. And as soon as even if they're loving something, eating, then they walk away. And mom will be like, hey, are you done with that? And they're not interested anymore because they're not hungry, because their body told them that they're full. That is an intuitive eater. And that's what we're all trying to work our way back to. And so no, you will not continue to gain weight forever. Your body will tell you when it's done repairing itself and it doesn't need that extra energy. But your body's always gonna need energy. This doesn't mean you can go back into your eating disorder. This just means that all that extra food that you felt like you had to continue eating and eating, that extreme hunger, will come back down into a normal hunger fullness kind of regimen. And you will feel better and you will have more energy. And one of the things that is interesting is when we usually go into extreme hunger, we will crave carbs, sugars, fats. Why? Because those are all easy energy sources to our body, and they're so easy for it to process through and get that energy going so that we feel better faster, because it needs easily digestible and useful energy. One of the most difficult parts of recovery for those of us who've been in a restrictive type eating disorder is that when we start gaining that weight back, we tend to hold it in our middle, in our body, not on our limbs, on our torso. And that can be really triggering and really hard, but just hang in there with me. Talk to your doctor, talk to your dietitian, they'll tell you the exact same thing. The truth is, if you think about it, we can survive without our limbs, right? We can't survive without our torso. That's where we house all of our important and useful organs, muscles, things that keep us alive. That's where they all are. Therefore, because our body really doesn't trust us, and also it's trying its best to heal all of the damage, it holds weight around our middle for a while, sometimes 6 months to a year, in order to finish that healing process, learn to trust us again, and then it starts dispersing that weight. So know that even if you feel like you're gaining all your weight in your middle and all over your torso, know that that's not what's really going to happen at the end of all of this. That's just your body's way of protecting itself from the damage that was done before. And our body has to learn to trust us again too, because we've kind of, taken advantage of it and hurt it. And so it holds that weight there as a way to protect our organs and to keep us alive. So thanks, body. Maybe take some time to write a little thank you letter to your body for keeping you alive and making sure that you made it here today to watch this video. There's so many things in place that we don't really realize that our body does to keep us warm, keep us safe, keep us going, even when we're maybe not giving it what it's asking for. So if you've been working on recovery and you find yourself having extreme hunger, waking you up in the middle of the night, making you want to eat again after you've had your last snack for the evening, listen to it. It's not lying to you. It's not going to make you continually gain weight. What it wants to do is heal you so that you go back to being the wonderful and amazing and energetic and strong you. So listen and talk to your team if you're concerned, and maybe rewatch this video if those voices pop up again and tell you, no, you're not sick enough, or that's only people who are extremely underweight, because that's bullshit. Don't listen to that voice. Talk back to it, or allow this video to do that for you. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. What has it been like for you? Have you experienced extreme hunger? Because I know that there are tons of members of our community who are worried about it, and it would be really helpful for each of us to share our stories. And as always, click here to subscribe, and make sure you turn on notifications. It's a little bell thing so you don't miss out on my videos, because I put them out twice a week. 2 times, Mondays, Thursdays. And I will see you next time. Bye!